We got to talk about Ronny Mauricio. Ronny Mauricio, of course, had the cup of coffee late in the 2023 season, showed what he can do in a small sample size, then tore his ACL in the Dominican Winter League in January of 2024, has not played in the majors since, but recently came off of the IL and is currently in Syracuse. And Ronny Mauricio, ladies and gentlemen, in Syracuse, is batting 316 with 3 home runs, 10 RBIs, OPS of .891, has 5 stolen bases to boot in 57 at bats. That begs the question: should the Mets at this point in time right now call up Ronny Mauricio? Now, this is an interesting conundrum because you look at the Mets infield. The Mets infield is very, very crowded. Francisco Lindor is not going to move off shortstop anytime soon. We have Luis Angel Acuna who could play second. Brett Beatty could play second, interchangeable at third. Mark Vientos playing third. All positions that Mauricio can play. Now, Vientos, he's a guy. He's a bit of a slugger. Last season, he had a heck of a second half. But he's not a guy that you're just going to give up on so early and move. Brett Beatty is a guy who I've been very vocal about, but right now he's proving me wrong. Brett Beatty has improved his play over the last couple of weeks. So as of right now, he has earned the right to stay in Flushing. Jeff McNeil, he's valuable because even though yes, he is a second baseman by trade, he has played center and left at points in this season. So he's a guy who can play 3 positions, 2 in the outfield and 1 in the infield. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, no, Ronny should not be called up just yet. And here's why. Granted, his numbers in Syracuse are spectacular. I'm not taking that away from the young man. I am a fan of Ronny Mauricio. I like Ronny Mauricio a lot. However, here is a guy who has not played professional organized baseball since from January of 24 up until last month. Or not even last month, a couple weeks ago. In that time, he's missed 2 full spring trainings. He didn't have a spring training this season because he was hurt. The Mets taking their time getting him back up to speed. You also got to remember that he's killing it in AAA, but AAA and MLB are 2 totally different levels of competition. We see guys all the time, Brett Beatty being an example of it, guys who are Hall of Famers if you judge their numbers in AAA and then they get to the majors and they struggle or they're not consistent. Ronny Mauricio, coming off of a devastating injury, I would prefer the Mets to take their time with Ronny Mauricio. Make sure he is as good as he can possibly be. And just let him continue to get more reps in Syracuse. Because especially a guy coming off of an ACL injury, he's just recently started playing pro baseball again. I would rather they take their time with him than to rush him to the major league level. And when he doesn't, and if he can't produce, then now all of a sudden Ronny is the subject of all this unwarranted criticism. I would rather the Mets just bring him along slowly like they've been doing. Again, get him. I mean, granted, 5 stolen bases and batting 316. That seems comfortable, I know. But again, just let him work his way back and get him really ready for when we need him down the stretch. I would like to see Mauricio called up. Maybe I want to say somewhere mid-July, early August. don't rush him back. The kid is young. He's 24 years old. No need, no need to rush him back. He's got a heck of a career ahead of him. He's got way more years in baseball ahead of him than he does behind him. And just let him get his footing, because you don't want to rush him to an accelerated level of competition that his body cannot handle just yet. Keep him in Syracuse for about, because again, this Sunday is June 1st. Keep him in Syracuse for about another month and a half. It won't hurt. Only way I would call him up early is if, God forbid, a McNeil gets hurt, or a Beatty gets hurt, or a Vientos gets hurt, or Lindor gets hurt. Other than that, keep him down on the farm for another month and some change. Let him continue to get back into baseball shape, and then all's a go from there. But again, Ronny Mauricio having a heck of a time in Syracuse. 316 average, 3 homers, 10 RBI, with 5 stolen bases, OPS of .891. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I just want to see a little bit more before Ronnie comes up to the majors. I mean, I don't think one player, especially a guy who's been out of baseball since January of 2024, is going to make an immediate impact or make a big difference. But again, the Mets' strong suit, like I said earlier in this episode, has been pitching. I don't think Mauricio is going to be a guy who's just going to turn the whole team's offense around by himself. But again, I'd like to see him called up mid-July, early August, save him for the postseason run, and just make sure he's okay and at his best first and foremost. So, but again, Mauricio, I'm liking what I'm seeing in Syracuse. Power is there, speed is there. I just want to make sure that he's comfortable enough that this can translate to the major league level.